Hello! I'm trying to frame this really quickly because I know, I'm sorry, wasn't really prepared to make a YouTube video right now, but there's a thunderstorm happening. So that's what I'm hoping to video. I want to talk to you guys about helping your dog feel more comfortable and feel safer in a thunderstorm. A lot of dogs don't like thunder. It's loud and scary. Honestly, sometimes when really big thunderclaps go off, I get scared. So I wouldn't blame a dog who's got such sensitive hearing, feeling the vibrations in the house and the ground, all those sorts of things. It could be really scary for them. So I want to talk about how we can reduce and eventually hopefully resolve a dog's fear of thunder. First and foremost, if you have a dog who's afraid of thunder, you need to make sure as much as humanly possible that they're not getting left alone during a storm. With most behavioral training, as we know, we want... I'm good. You're right, you got a hair in your mouth. With most behavioral training, as we know, we need to make sure that we're either doing the training or we're managing the behavior. We can't just let them wing it. We've got to make sure we're training or we're not. So there's no in between. It's as Yoda says, there is do or do not do. There is no try. So what we're going to be doing is Pavlov's dogs. In this situation, the thunder is the bell. We want the dog to feel good about the thunder, so we want to make sure that every time the thunder goes off, we present them with something that they feel good about. With enough repetition of scary thing, good thing, scary thing, good thing, scary thing, good thing, eventually the scary thing becomes a predictor of a good thing. So thunder turns from scary sky monster into a predictor of cheese. So you best believe there isn't going to be another clap of thunder while we stand here and explain it, and Odin is keen. You're keen for the thunder, aren't you? But while we wait for the thunder to go off and for you to see the way this training works, I will explain to you a little bit about Odin's history with thunder. The irony that Odin, if you're familiar with Norse mythology, Odin is Thor's father. So the fact that Odin doesn't like thunder is, there's a bit of a family dynamic happening there. Odin from day one, he just never was he was scared of thunder. We didn't have a real thunderstorm here until I think Odin was at least 5 or 6 months old. So I had worked on sound desensitization. Odin came from an incredible... Do or do not do, there is no try. When the thunder happens, cheese, period. So Odin came from an excellent breeder, Starkey Rottweilers. Odin had been raised under puppy culture protocols. So they'd done lots of sound desensitization from day one as well. When Odin came home, I did a lot of sound desensitization to various noises, including thunder. But, to be perfectly honest, we can't really simulate a thunderstorm. We can desensitize to the sound of thunder, but when real thunder occurs, there are like barometric pressure changes. There's flashes of light in the sky, which you might have seen. I know there's going to be more thunder in a second. The rolling noise of it, the vibrations of the ground, there's so much to it that we can't emulate. So as I say, I did a lot of work with Odin so that he could feel comfortable. But then when we got our first real thunderstorm, I think he was about 6 months old, and we had 3 big rippers of a thunderstorm in like 24 or 36 hours. So it was full on. The poor little boy, he was so scared, he was pacing, he was barking, he wouldn't eat food because he was so afraid. It was just a lot for the poor little boy. So we made sure that we did everything we could to start. We were throwing lavish amounts of high value food on the ground for him. It got to a point where he was able to eat when the thunder occurred. He was able to eat when the thunder occurred because we had less intense storms successively, which were less scary for him, so he was able to take the food. That gave us a foot in the door to say thunder equals cheese. And now we've got a situation where I'm sure you've noticed, yeah, I know I said the word, the C word. We have a different C word in this house, don't we? So we got to the point with enough repetition of saying to Odin, every time thunder goes off, cheese will come, that now when thunder goes off, if it's in the distance and it's rolling, he will sleep through it, which is bloody brilliant. If we have thunder that goes for a continuing period, so if it's been rolling for an hour or two, after a while, he'll get up and start to offer me a bit of eye contact to say, hey mum, this is that time that you give me that cheese. This is the noise that I don't like, so it's time to give me my snack. That's great. I would love that situation where thunder goes off and now Odin gets up and he looks at me and says, hi, can I have cheese, please? Now we're at the stage where when the thunder goes off for enough time, Odin might get a little bit stressed. He still doesn't love it, but he's manageable, and he knows that there's a contract that every time thunder claps, he gets a plane. Every time thunder claps, he gets food. So, in a nutshell, look up Pavlov's dogs. Look up Pavlov's dogs. Make sure you don't leave your dog alone in a storm if they don't like storms. If it is a really intense one that goes on for a long period of time, you can pop some music on for them to mask the noise a little bit, close up all the doors and windows, and make sure that without fail, every single time the thunder goes off, you give your dog a piece of really high value food. For Odin, that's cheese. For other dogs, it might be barbecue chicken. It might be pieces of fish. I don't know, but it's got to be something really, really good. The mantra for treats is small, soft, and smelly. So something that'll go down the gob quickly, something that doesn't require a lot of chewing, it just goes bloop, that stings because that's quite palatable for dogs and that they enjoy. So really, honestly, meaty treats, guys. I'm a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian since 2006, and I use meaty treats or cheese with my dog because that's what he really loves. So when the thunder goes off, give him a treat. No matter what, thunder equals treat, that's your contract, and you should find that over time your dog's behavior starts to reduce in the presence of thunder. If you do have a lot of trouble with this training, make sure you get in touch with us by email. We can set you up for a Zoom consult if you're not in Sydney or on the beaches, because this is something that is no fun for anyone. And thunderstorms are a big trigger for a lot of dogs to want to escape, so we'd really love to see you guys getting on top of it. I hope that this helps. Odin, you good? Boy, I love you. Speak to you guys soon.